Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of James Bond Bitcoin Live 0043 hashtag choir. And so, in this episode here, I'm going to talk about preaching to the social media choir hashtag yes2x. So, if you haven't noticed, apparently all the excitement and is enthusiasm enthusiasm has all of a sudden gone, dissipated from the crypto space all of a sudden. um, and it seems like there's a lot of preaching going on to the social media choir. Now there's a link to um, uh, an article in which I basically stole this meme and just threw in my own little hashtag yes2x to it. And basically, what it is if you read the article, it talks about how we interact on the social media and how do we preach to basically the choir. And a lot of times, you know, we often preach to the same people that don't need to be preaching to. And they're the people that are already in the space and they're already hooked. Um, I notice all the preachers come out when there might be a problem with how much money you think you're worth. And they only come out during times when I would say that when there's price instability or a bear market. It amazes me when it's a bull market and everybody and their mother comes out of the woodwork and makes a video about how they made, X amount of dollars, or how they made a trade today and they made it, you know, X amount of money, not realizing that they lost X amount of Bitcoins in their trade. But where are they now? I think Florida is recovering, so all the scammers have power and internet available, so they don't seem to be coming back in droves anymore. The other thing about what the article mentions is when you start preaching to the choir, preaching to the social media choir, and whether you're on Twitter, you're on Facebook, even on YouTube, how do you sound, or what would other people think about you on social media if they weren't into the crypto space, if they weren't involved at all? Oh, how would they see you as? What would you see yourself as? Would you put yourself into a third person kind of position and look at what you're doing? Does it make sense? Does it sound like you're kind of pushing an agenda or you have an ulterior motive? I would say yes. A lot of times I troll a lot, but you have to look at who I'm trolling. I'm trolling at people who have been in this space and understand the game. And the way they play the game hasn't changed since 2013, 2011, 2008. A matter of fact, Bitcoin has been in existence for, well, almost more than 8 years. Pretty soon, by January next year, will be 9 years. And if you look around, has anything changed? Has any significant movement has been made? Has there been a revolution? Has there been anything going on? Well, as far as I can tell, no. I've gotten richer, theoretically. I have a lot of time where I can dedicate to doing, I guess, my YouTube channel, which I don't really care for as far as um, views or subscribers. Um, I usually do these to inform and to enrich others with information in which they can use to hopefully improve their life. But I like to share this thing here. I'm going to go to another picture here. And if you look at this, you know, if you Google 2013 bubble, I saw this is kind of interesting. It's a chart of Mt. Gox in 2011 and a chart of Mt. Gox 2013, the first half of the year or until November. And these are supposed bubbles. And so if you look at 2011, that looks really, really familiar. That chart pattern looks an awful familiar. It looks like 2013 and to some degree 2017. But it's a 2011 chart graph, which goes around $2, spikes up to almost $30, and comes down to almost $3. It just slowly declines to that. Now, if you look at 2013, it's a different kind of chart, but similar. You see the spike. It starts off at $20, spikes up to about $230, and that's probably at the height of Silk Road, April of 2013. Silk Road closes, it crashes down to almost $60 and then kind of levels off for the rest of the year. And then all of a sudden it starts going back up around November, back to 220. I got in around November. I think I got in around $250. And so what they don't show you is the bubble of, I would say, 2014, but it really started taking off around at the end of 2013. And my point is, if you know how to play the game, if you've seen the charts from previous years of Bitcoin, you should take that into consideration of the way prices are moving today and how you can take advantage of some knowledge of how prices have reacted in the past. So if you look at 2011, there was a bubble. Okay. 2013, there was actually two bubbles, technically. Early part of April when Silk Road closed down, and then another one at the end of the year, November to December, almost into January. So there was kind of two bubbles in 2013. Now we're in 2017. Do you see a same, chart pattern here? Do you see the same, repeating patterns? I hope you do, because if you do, you're smarter than the average trader, smarter than the average bear out there in the bear market that's probably going to be coming. And most likely, you'll be able to make a lot more Bitcoins. And like I said in my last episode, when the price goes down, you make Bitcoin. You'll probably only be able to barely squeak out a break even as far as money. But if you are smart, you'll make more Bitcoin. The payout will be 3 to 4 years later, where you'll 100x, 1000x your profits. So, preaching to the social media choir. looks like a lot of people are going to have their faith tested in this ecosystem. My 10 minutes are up. Feel free to like, dislike, leave a comment, or even do a video response. Until next time, stay tuned. Bye.